I am so excited to announce that we finally have some details about the gaming cruise. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, AJ here with Byte Size Cruises. I wanted to talk to you about updates on the gaming cruise and where we stand. We have picked a sailing. So we are going to be sailing out of New York City on March 28th of 2027 aboard the Norwegian Bliss. We are going to be going to Bermuda, and what is so exciting about this itinerary is it is perfect for a cruise like this because we leave from New York City on day one. We have 2 sea days, then 3 days in Bermuda, and then a sea day back. And what makes this so wonderful is that the sea days are great for doing all of the gaming things on ship, but then those 3 days in Bermuda really unlocks it so that we can have some really cool events on land. We can do excursions together, we can organize a scavenger hunt, you have time to explore the islands. It is going to be wonderful. I love doing overnights in Bermuda. It's really cool that the ship just kind of becomes your floating hotel and you can get on and off as you want to and really explore the place. So it also means that there is not a ton of time for people being seasick every night, if that's something that you're worried about. Once we get into port, the ship doesn't move. So it's very still and it feels like you're on land when you're on the ship at that point. So you don't have to really worry about missing out on everything because there are days that you know are going to be fine as far as seasickness goes. Now, as far as things to do go, what we can do really depends on how many people we have going. So we have some goals in mind. Think of it like a Kickstarter where you hit different goals, you get different things. So at 5 to 15 cabins, it's just basically a group cruise where we have a dedicated gaming library space where people can borrow games, sit down and play together, but there's nothing super formal happening. We don't have a schedule except for like one theme night. It's basically a bunch of friends going together and having access to a shared area with the games in it. You will get a digital goodie bag with like print-to-play games, but it's really just kind of your basic group cruise. So goal number 2 is 16 to 40 cabins. And this opens up having a professional game library where we will actually have the funds to rent games. It won't just be the games that we as a group bring from home. We will have some tournaments and a schedule about gameplay. And then we will also have a workshop, which is to be determined. And one of the nice things is if you get in early, you get to have a lot of input in what this cruise will look like. And so we will actually be voting with people signed up as we get closer to the event about what that will be and what they want to see. Early enough for us to be able to reach out to people about helping to run the workshop, but not so late that if this snowballs, it's not a real perk if you got in early. And then you'll also get exclusive swag branded for this cruise, maybe some dice or a meeple or a shirt. That is also to be determined. So that's kind of like a fun in-between where it's still very much like a bunch of friends just cruising together, but there are some structured events to go to, and you'll be able to explore some games that maybe you haven't been able to try in the past. At goal number 3, so this is 41 to 70 cabins, this is where things start to look like a real convention. So at that point, we'll be introducing a trading card game area with some stock decks if you want to try out the games, but then also with, we'll have tournaments, and that'll also be interest-based on who's there. So we can do Pokemon, Magic, Lorcana, Yu-Gi-Oh! If you have another card game you want to introduce to people, we will have a trading card game area. At that point, we can entice vendors to come aboard and maybe have a vendor area. That is a little iffier than some of the other things because that requires vendors finding it worth it and signing up. And then we will have a themed murder mystery party, which I would be so excited to do. And then we'll also have at least one panel of like a game designer. Hopefully we can get multiple panels in there about people talking about different ideas. So I know there's also a lot of interest from the survey in one-shots and things like that. So we'll also be able to try to recruit some DMs to come in and do some like maybe basic how to make a D&D character or introduce people to a new tabletop role-playing system. And then our final goal number 4, is our legendary voyage, and this is over 71 cabins, or 71 more cabins. And at this point, it is really going to be a real convention. At 71 cabins, at that point, we have 140, 150 people or more on the ship. And that is enough that we can have some staff come with us to help run RBG one-shots, maybe be able to rent a room to do an escape room one of the days. We can do some like private gaming tables. We can do a VIP lounge. We can do some live streaming of different events and have some prizes to go with it. So that is where it becomes more of that like really big event type atmosphere. So the fun question, the question everyone I'm sure is asking, how much is this going to cost me? So for this 7-day event, it is going to be, if you get in at the first 25 cabins, these are held special as the early bird. These are the cabins that are kind of taking a risk on what it's going to be, because that's really only partially into goal number 2 at 25. But I feel like at that level, you deserve some kudos for believing in this event and helping it happen. So it starts at $13.99 per person, and that, as an early bird, that will get you automatically to the VIP pass if we get to above goal number 2. So it gets you access to the shared game library. It'll get you entry into any of the casual tournaments. You get the theme night. You get to join us on any of the stuff that we're doing. You have kind of a pass to the event, as well as it covers your cruise. And then because you're that first 25, the VIP, you will get those standard perks, but then you'll also get VIP. If we get the VIP lounge, you would have access to that. You will get a swag bag. You will have VIP specific events on the calendar. And then you'll also get like reserved seating and early access if there are event signups for limited space. You'll get access to that first. So the first 25 cabins get the VIP for less than the standard pass for everyone else. The standard pass, which will kick in after the first 25, is $14.50 per person, and the VIP will be $16.49 per person. And really, the VIP pass is what would help us get us over those hurdles to be able to hire staff to come with us and things like that. The standard pass and the early bird both just help us be able to have the spaces that we need, if that makes sense. I'm happy to answer any questions in person if you want to set up a time to talk to me. You can email me at aj@bytesizecruises.com, and I'm happy to give you more information about that. But all of the passes also come with, if you want to meet in Philly the night before, we're going to do some mixers there. There will also be throughout the next year and a half different virtual meetups that once you have a ticket, you will be invited to, where we can talk about what we want to do, the status of the event, and everything else. So the other thing to keep in mind is it is a $250 deposit to hold your space. However, that is refundable. So if you want to reserve a cabin, you do have that opportunity. And yeah, I am so looking forward to this. It is March 28th, 2027 through April 4th, the Norwegian Bliss. It is leaving out of New York City. I had wanted to do it out of Philadelphia, but these were better rates and a better trip. So that is why we went with this one. And I really hope that this works. If you have any questions at all, like I said, email me at aj@bytesizecruises.com. I am happy to answer them, and follow along for more updates as we get closer to everything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.